Oh hey, happy Halloween to everyone. I hope your candy is filled with white chocolate and razor blades. Today is the start of the Dark Protocol event for the game. It's a gameplay you'll be seeing in the background for most of the video. And after a couple hours of playing it, I feel like I can write down my first impressions for the game mode, and I'm conflicted. It's really fun, okay? But I do have problems with it. The mode itself is great. Let me get the shit out the way. Fighting for the one control point, fighting for the 3D printer, fighting against guys coming at your waves, or fighting with the wave to the enemy objective is fun when it works. More times than not, and especially on maps like Manifest, the game can really feel one-sided. One side is so far pushed back that they're only regulated to play within their spawn base. And even then, at least in my experience, it's almost like the enemy team isn't even fucking trying, and it's just not fun. So what was once a competitive race to the finish is now a leisurely stroll through a park. Maps like Manifest and Hourglass don't feel like they work. Manifest being the worst offender here, as in this game mode it's more for close quarters combat, while these two maps thrive in long range combat, and it just feels weird and open. If you play Kill Switch on those maps, it just feels dead, despite it not. Despite it being on the smallest version of the maps, they still feel too big, and the lines aside are just horrible. The maps that really feel great with Kill Switch are Spearhead and Redacted, and even they cannot escape the one-sided feel to it, especially the fact that on Redacted both sides spawn on the same side of the map. Who the fuck thought of that? Oh, and those guys that you fight for, yeah, there's only one 3D printer on the map that actually spawns them. And you can spawn them at any time on the map since they're not tied to the actual objective. And after the hard work to actually, getting the guys to spawn for your side, they just all die at once as soon as the objective gets taken. And the worst part is that the AI for them suck. Yeah, despite all of this, it's still probably my favorite game mode they've done. And it would be the community's best if they do 3 simple changes. 1, don't have the guys despawn after you take an objective. 2, have 3 3D printers on the map opposed to 1. And 3, increase their aggressiveness on the battlefield, especially towards the end. It's funny that these motherfuckers can actually whip out a rocket launcher when an enemy vehicle is passing by. I don't think that's intended, but I was left when I saw one of them whip it out. The guys have a cute butt. Why the fuck did I write that down? Oh, and why is it releasing on Halloween Day? Why couldn't have this been going on since the 27th? It's a cool Halloween type of event, so why is 98% of the event in November? Alright, there's only gonna be, little changes that I actually give a shit about. Alright, I'm sorry, not everything's covered. But the patch notes are in the description below, or watch the Catwoman, I guess. Alright, besides, the normal changes that actually happens to weapons, game modes, and shit like that, I actually want to start talking about what the most controversial change, which is the new vehicle change for this update allows for light air vehicles like the Nightbird or jets to be damaged by regular bullets, not exclusively by armor-piercing bullets. In a game where they're already being swatted out of the sky in seconds. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with any of this if it wasn't already for the overabundance of countermeasures troops on the ground actually have to deal with such vehicles. I do have to make it clear that 1 bullet doesn't equate to 1 damage, but rather we're dealing with decimals of damage, so 1 bullet equals to 0.6 damage to be exact. So yeah, it's not really that big of a deal, but in a game where everything's being thrown your way, the addition of another countermeasure, and that countermeasure just being every fucking gun on the map, it does make pilots feel like they're constantly getting the finger thrown at them at all times by both the teams on the ground and the dev teams at DICE. In my opinion, if you really wanted to play with this idea and actually have it go through into the live game, I would have done it the way Battlefield 1 did this, where only LMGs were allowed to do decimal damage towards air vehicles. And let's not just stop there, let's actually, work with that. So LMGs are allowed to do decimal damage and make that a passive trait for engineers, or to Boris. This would actually give LMGs a fucking reason to exist in the game rather than just being an AR with more ammo. And more importantly, it would actually give Boris a reason to exist in the game. But in reality, I actually just want the community to stop believing these 100-0 kill streaks are actually easy to do in this game, or on top of that, as frequent as they claim it to be. It's not. Stop punishing pilots for just being good, actually implement team play to your thought process when dealing with air vehicles. The game already has given you more than 1 item to deal with them. Coordinate with your team to actually take them down instead of just expecting to one-man it. The addition of the Tor getting close quarter countermeasures has me really conflicted. The Tor is basically supposed to be a sniper tank, okay? Able to be fully used from far range and be absolutely demolished at any close quarters engagement, especially when dealing with infantry. Now the Tor gets access to a shotgun, and the gunner seat actually gets the full list of weapons that the other vehicles get. Listen, one side of me is loving this because I am a Tor tank enjoyer, okay? I love playing in it. I didn't mind the last nerfs I got, I still played it, but now that you're buffing it to this level, why would anyone pick the main battle tanks ever again? You'd be stupid not to pick the Tor tank. The Tor is going from being good at one thing They're just being good at everything. And you can't have it both ways, because the community will just complain for the main battle tank to be deleted from the game. This shotgun is sadly getting nerfed, but I can still snipe with this one. The new and the round screen is way better than anything we've had before in the game. It's exactly what we had back in Battlefield 1, proving that DICE should just keep adding in ideas from the game. Hoff.mp3, Hoff.mp3, Hoff.mp3. Alright, listen. So besides all of these cosmetics that are being flashed on the screen right now as we speak, Dataminers found something in the game as of this update. This. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only taken 2 fucking years, but Battlefield 2042 will finally be getting a spectator mode, if this actually goes through. Yeah, all we have right now are these lines of code that indicates the return of spectating. Who knows if it even returns the way we think it is. Maybe it'll return the way Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2 did spectating, or it could return as the full spectating mode that we saw previously in titles like Battlefield 1, 3, 4. I hope it's the latter of the two, but shit man, I'm just gonna be honest, this is probably gonna be the spectating mode seen in Hazard Zone. At this point, I would like to suggest that let us move around while we're down. We can already do this via an option in Portal, just bring it into the base game already. For the love of God, fix the black screen bug. Also, we have a new community manager. My message to him is, I wonder how long it'll take till you crack with this community. I'm just joking, it'll be fine. Have fun while you can.